Hello again, everybody. Witch Doctor here, looking at the markets, intraday activity of the Forex currency markets. You can see the spot market here, looking at the dollar index future on the left, and of course the major currencies that we follow here on the right. And each one of these charts is basically an hourly chart. First thing that we do is take a look at the dollar index. You can see what I'm illustrating here is yesterday's high, low, and the closing price. You can see this is the high, and of course this is the low. Interesting thing here, we had a speech from Bernanke. I'm sure that's what sent the markets in a little bit of a frenzy, but off of the lows here, pushing back above yesterday's low, and then trying to make a high here up at 83.70, but not able to push beyond yesterday's high. Very interesting how the market really didn't do a lot of technical damage, and at the end of the day, we really just wound up right where we started to begin this whole entire adventure. So the interesting thing is to find out how this market is going to continue, and it looks like maybe we just basically continue to chop sideways here in the dollar before actually moving lower. So interesting thing here, you can see all of this selling that came into the market right up here in the 83.70s, plenty of sellers, and then of course continuing the selling all the way for the next 1, 2, 3, 5, 6 hours after we hit this high here. So really important there to know that the market got rejected here, no buying to help sustain this move, and that's a real big sign of weakness here in the dollar index futures. And of course, when you go take a look at the rest of the currencies, you have the Japanese yen essentially just bouncing in between yesterday's high and low. You can see that not able to move beyond yesterday's low or above yesterday's high, and really just one little bit of consolidation. Even though it did look like a little bit of an up push or an uptrend intraday, it really didn't do anything to break out of yesterday's trading range. And of course the Swiss franc here also mimicking, or should we say mimicking what the dollar index was doing. You had two lows here down at the bottom, nice little double bottom, push up, and ultimately failure right around the 98.40 level. You can see here that just like the dollar index futures, found some sellers up in the 98.50s, let's call it, and then found the Swiss franc back on the lows of the session, pretty close to where it began. And when that happens, it really just tells you that the market really didn't do anything to change anybody's mind. A little bit of panic before all of the jaw yapping and jaw flapping came out, but other than that, you can see that the Canadian dollar did use yesterday's low as support here, and then finally rallied off of this level, and then was not able to push as high as yesterday's high. Found some sellers right just short of yesterday's high, but was able to push down below yesterday's low, which is interesting. This shows you the kind of weakness that's evolving in the dollar index futures. And of course, when you go and take a look at the euro, a nice big spike lower here, trying to go test yesterday's low, not able to make it that far because there were plenty of buyers here, and of course they supported the market for the next 6 hours, ultimately pushing the market back to yesterday's high. Not able to break out very convincingly on the closing of the session, but you can see that basically evaporating all of that move that led to that big sell-off. So you can see here that the pound was essentially the same thing, ending up the session right around the previous session high, and that's really important. You had this attempt for bears to take the market lower, but they were only met with substantial buying, and the buyers were willing to not only were they able to stop the selling down there, but they were willing to pay up as the market was moving up in up in price as the session went along. Australian dollar, the only one that really showed us any kind of strength, breaking outside of yesterday's trading range to the high side, a little bit of a retracement, and then finally coming back to test the previous session closing price, if you will. But then again, finding the buyers there enough to finish up here on the highs, and you can see here that now what we're looking for is probably a little bit more continuation in the Australian dollar. So all signs pretty much show that the dollar is continuing to show little subtle signs of weakness, even though he had this nice blip today. So just be on the lookout for more continuous selling here in the dollar index futures, at least for the next couple days. That's all I got for this market wrap. Hope it helps. Good luck in your trading. This is Wish Doctor signing off. We'll see you in the next video.